Fill her up.
You're listening to the Gas Digital Network.
What do you get when you mix two white boys, both named Mike? A thing for Justin Timberlake and a piercing above your eye. Was he high? Their stories alone could make you cry. That's when you want to make your Irish goodbye.
Hello.
Man, this shot is of just where you can see how I'm balding.
Oh, yeah. It's got a little tender leaf.
They were like, Mike, and someone's grandpa. Yay! Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Irish Goodbye Podcast. A storytelling podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Mike Feeney, being joined with me, as always,
by Mike Cannon. Feeney's going to be an interesting father one day because the way his voice he didn't say anything, but it was a punishment.
Yeah,
it was a very clear
you're
grounded for a moment.
I got scolded.
He didn't need to say anything because Brendan knew what was wrong about the situation he was.
And what are you doing? Like, put your arms like you just had, because it looks like you're just like saddling up to the candy counter, trying to get a malt after school for 5 cents.
I'm like, here. This is great.
Yeah, you look like George Bailey ordering from the pharmacist. What do you mean?
You don't have any Willy Wonka bars?
Them cops should have been honorable.
But he's putting gold in them.
We're in Studio B, so there's always a different energy when we're in here. I feel like sometimes it's pretty good, frenetic. It brings me back to our original, like Ralph's Closet studio.
Do you know what this is?
But we haven't been on the same side in this room.
Ever.
I don't think ever.
Ever. Do you know what this is? This is the podcast equivalent. I've recently seen this on social media where people do this like it's a arm wrestling competition, but they hold a peg and then they fist fight with one hand. That's what this is podcast-wise. Yeah, so they stand, they grip from across a table, and then they both have to continue to hold the peg. If you let go, you lose, and just fire punches at each other's face.
Oh my God! There's so much shit like that, like the ultimate like slapping tournaments where
where it's like
they're just holding onto the thing.
400-pound men named Gunther with hands the size of feet,
and then they have to like clap and shake hands after.
But it just the thing that I was like, I think I'd be okay with the slap in the face. It'd probably knock me the fuck out. But what I'm not okay with is the ear ringing that it would cause. Like if you told me I could wear like a little ear protector over it and
like
you could just slap me in the fucking something like that, I'd be much more willing to do that.
Yeah, or like how hot your face gets when you get slapped.
your eyes watering.
Yeah. I think that's not even like top 10 of your concerns.
I know.
I got to tell you, because the size of these men's fists, each finger is a fist. Like, so it doesn't...
Five-finger death punch.
When they're slapping you, it's not like you're getting slapped.
No.
It's like you're getting hit by finger bats 5 at a time across your fucking cheekbone.
Oh my God! And like your jaw just going, like just right
like you're
back.
on cocaine.
Yeah, you'll have whiplash.
Oh my God!
What was that?
What the hell?
Did you just plug in one of those slap fights? Also, Brendan's still sitting low.
It's
it
too
looks
low.
like we're hazing you,
It's
dude.
too low.
You're a baby.
Well, what else is new?
Yeah, you're just actually trying to position yourself as the low man on the totem pole so people feel bad for you.
Yeah.
I don't even have to do that. People do this to me. Hey, leave Brendan alone.
Yeah.
Which
Alex
makes
is
it
having
so much
fits
worse.
trying to re-change his shot every time he moves his chair up, down, left, and right.
I
just a moving target to try and have to produce. Yeah.
The whole time I'm going like,
Yeah, I like how after a while she just cuts off of your camera.
And the best is that the floor is not stable, so eventually Brendan will have an accident
He will
and a
tumble.
wheel will kick out and
Yeah.
you'll sprain your neck or something.
That's good content.
Yeah, if you could work that in, that could be.
Some paralyzation content.
Yeah, of course. I've seen World Star.
No, I follow it Old World Star on Instagram, since World Star now is like more or less like paid advertisement from shitty comedians, like or internet comedians that are like, girls be like, and it's like, I want to stab everybody in the face that like this. Why does this have 5 million views? And then there was this account that wrote on like every NBA highlight, I have fight videos. I'm the old world star. I accept
Nice.
requests immediately. And I have never clicked anything faster in my entire
Yeah, of
life.
course.
And all of it is terrifying. Like, it is real old world star, and it's kind of like old E-Bombs world where you can like stumble upon a beheading or something like that. You're like,
no.
oh dear
That
God, how is
sucks.
this?
Yeah, anytime I see that little sensitive
exist?
content warning, I'm like, I might pass this. one.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
nature
yeah.
is metal.
No, I-
does not
I-
fuck around.
When I see the sensitive warning, I'm like, all right. Like, I always click it.
I get
but
ready to-
I'm ready. Yeah, I'm like, I got two
Finger on
fingers
the trigger.
it.
Yeah.
Do your hands ever get so flaky that it doesn't read as a finger and it stays there? On the
It
No,
reads as a
because my-
glove.
No, my
Like, you
I
can't
s-
swipe with a potato chip.
I still feel very low.
You are
I'm
low.
still very low.
super low, and-
Sagalow. All right.
So I was
keep
in
it
a
here.
yeah. Mike, thanks
you
for
go.
coming. Thanks for coming, Brendan. I was at a restaurant and I had the busser come over. Don't wheel into our shot now. And God damn it. Put your head back.
I've
There you go.
never run into somebody as incapable as you.
I think the
You're
word.
incapable of professionalism
I think the
across
word. would-
every turn.
It's amazing. It really is, because you think even by accident you'd stumble into it once.
You talked over the title of the show.
Stop yelling at me.
You wouldn't like me when I'm mad.
We are your parents were the reason you bleached your hair,
Yeah,
just to
yeah,
get
yeah.
back at us.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get a big face tattoo.
I think you eventually will, and it will be a unfortunate tragedy.
It might
But
happen today. After this, we're walking by a tattoo parlor because I am. I just like I said, I made the decision.
Yeah.
I'm done with the wedding ring. I love being married. I love my wife. I just can't have that type of barometer on my finger. I explained it outside, but I'll do it for the listeners and viewers at home. So the wedding ring is like a water weight barometer, and somebody like me who has wild body dysmorphia and constantly is commenting on my own looks even though nobody gives a shit, if that is tight on my finger, I walk around the house pinching my stomach and calling myself a fat little bitch for at least a full day.
Yeah.
And then if it's loose, I have to try to like recalibrate and rethink what I've done to achieve such a goal weight. And then I look in the mirror and I'm like, that's your goal weight? That's what weighing this looks like? Like, what are you doing?
It'll be fun to see the new thing, whatever replaces that with the flower. You'd be like, oh no, the petals are growing over the sides.
Yeah, it's too stretchy. The
petals are too big.
I should get like the flower from Beauty and the Beast and have like
would be
petals
cool.
wilt off as the years are getting
That's
closer
a nice
to
symbolism
divorce.
for marriage.
Yeah. Slowly
I'm with an old
dying.
wilting rose.
As the spell wears off, the spell of love, the flower petals fall to the floor.
Yeah, eventually it becomes a divorce flower.
I'm down.
It's a bald dandelion in 12 years.
It's just a circle with a line. A sad circle
a
with a
no
line.
smoking circle.
So I went to this restaurant and this guy, the busser came over to take all the plates, right? And he did that thing where at first, I think pre-COVID, post-COVID, you're allowed to get away with this now, where he starts like calling for plates. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
yeah,
when there's like a couple people at a table and they go like, "Can I get that?" And then so they can bust the table away instead of going around and grabbing the table because people are like, it's close proximity. It's like pre-COVID, that's just bad at your job. But now post-COVID, are like, whatever, we can't all be. So I'm like, bussing with him and just doing an
Yeah,
assembly line,
yeah.
handing him plates and stuff, and he like takes it all and he piles all the stuff, and Erica hands her plates, and then he puts them all down there, and he was like, and I go, "Do you want this too?" He goes, yeah. So I give him all this, and then as he goes to pick them up, he realizes the weight of all of the things that he's holding, and I know this because he let out an "oh fuck," and then just fucking tucked his arms in and ran away like this, all waddled like.
He was like a smashed fucking mushroom from Super Mario.
Yeah,
His little legs popping out of the bottom.
Just like that.
Dude,
yeah.
he couldn't put it back down and be like, "I'm gonna come back for half of these,"
Yeah,
especially
you
after
can't.
asking us.
Dude, once you take all the plates, you're like, fuck, I gotta take all these. I can't.
That's the one thing they
put it
taught me
down.
when it was the first day of working in restaurants or like busing and running. They go, "You never take more than you can carry, and never take less."
I've done it every single time, and there is nobody that plays the musical plates quite like me because I I have a trembling problem. So anytime I had more than one plate, I'd be like, and like playing the little maracas, and I'm a saucy little gal. And every
you're a
table
fun
would be like,
crustacean.
"Are you scared? Like, are you okay?"
People think like dinner and a show is happening. They're like, ooh.
Yeah. A one-man band of leftover mozzarella stick plates.
Dude, I do not miss waiting tables, but there is something about the post-double shift cigarette that I will never get over. That, like, I was barely a cigarette smoker, but just that feeling of just being a waiter, man.
I hated
whipping
it.
a butt by the side of the restaurant.
I hated every second of being a server. I hated the intros. I hated having to pretend like I liked them, having to pretend that people weren't difficult or like even when it was good, it was just like a mediocre experience. You're like, great. At best case scenario, I'm a little like I'm a slave to you. I'll go run and get your thing, sir, and I'll be right back. And I'm so sorry, I didn't know your soup was that hot. I apologize.
It's pour it on myself.
It's constant groveling, and you realize so quickly how the people who are going out to restaurants really. That psychological
They play
abuse
up the
of power is and especially
well, because their lives are bereft of control, so they funnel it all into that one moment where they can be Mr. Spacely and order fucking George Jetson around.
People also get very like they're very loose with what they're talking about when even when a waiter's there. If you're on a table with someone and they're talking about something, it's like, excuse me, there's a stranger standing. Like we were talking to my dad about when he dies, how much money we're gonna get in his will and everything. And the guy's standing right there, and I'm like,
being like, wait, that much time?
No. It's like, stop talking about the money. there's a stranger right here.
Well, it's weird when they bring you in too to stuff to be like, it's settled it, and then you have to do that. It's just all of it is so the worst.
Sucks.
And
speaking of which, I was actually brought in to close one of my friends' like some relative's estate. I just like co-signed something and then it was notarized, and I was like, I may have signed anything. I didn't read any of this. I don't know what this is. I'm at a UPS store in Northville, New Jersey. What the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
Oh no.
Signed away my life.
We're gonna have to
go ahead and look into that. I just
almost immediately.
Making a pretty
How
tough.
dare you tell me to do anything immediately
Shut
after you
up.
have never done anything immediately, even if it's fucking beneficial to you.
I mean, make it your top priority, but also you.
I would expect more from you.
Well, you expect wrong.
We expect that from me. But you have a future.
I told Nicole that, and she goes, from a year ago? Yeah.
What?
That you have still yet to get a checkbook.
I did it yesterday.
You got it. They printed out a checkbook for you?
They have
Order
to
it.
send.
It takes weeks.
Actually, it's only going to take 5 days. The guy said.
No kidding. And I thought this had happened before, where you went to the bank and you asked them for a checkbook, and they said something, and I thought you ordered a checkbook at that time.
Was this before or after my mental spiral for months and months?
I mean, when was that?
Damn.
So
Pulling the mental illness
The little
card early.
Oh,
yeah.
Did you have a tough year? Nobody else did.
Oh my god. So much fun. Yeah, I hated working in restaurants. The fucking worst.
Here's
dude.
what I was going to say to follow up on that point, though. What I wish is that I got to work just once at just like an old train car that got converted into a diner, the metal gray outside, where it's just like a passing through trucker town sort of a rest stop diner, because I wanted so badly the ability to be apathetic as a server. And that's what you get to be in those restaurants. You get to come around and go, you want eggs? Can I have an omelet? We don't do omelets. Eggs?
Yeah.
And then they go, and then they slap them down.
Yeah.
They go, they know you're not leaving a big tip. They know you're not running up the bill. They know you're. It's just this is a grind. This is both of us don't want to be here. And I love that.
Lifelong diner servers are the pirates of the modern age. They look like it. They all kind of just, it's grizzled life experience. It's tough living, man.
Yeah.
Bartenders too. It's because they're like just the servers go home before the bartenders usually. Then the bartenders have to stay there, clean everything up, close everything down.
I was never a server.
Bartending's more fun.
I do not think I would be able to do it, as you know.
I
bumble.
You reek of I've never waited tables.
I mean, I've worked in restaurants, but I've never waited tables.
What did you do?
I was a host.
You were. Oh my God.
Yes.
Who put you in the front of their shop and would like represent us?
I don't know what you're taking out on me today.
Now, let me ask you this: were you good? Because a host, although it is an important job, is the first thing that people comes in. you do have to do the thing where you're like, all right, those people are on desserts. Like, how did you do the math of letting know how long the wait was for any sort of time? You have to be like, okay, they're on desserts. It's going to be probably 25 minutes.
He didn't, and I bet he folded under pressure a lot.
I
He
never
got mad
folded
at
under
families.
pressure.
He got mad at people that were bothered because they were waiting.
I never folded under pressure. There was one time where it was really busy on like a Friday or Saturday, and I was working with this chick who was this like, I don't know how to describe her in not a racist way. But she was
Maybe
just
read.
read a book. Yeah, I know. Read a book, and I'd have a character lined up for this. But she was like a very sassy kind of Latino chick who was like, we would be in like special ed together, but never talk. You know what I mean? Like she'd be like the girl that sits over there that doesn't talk to anybody. And it got.
Whereas you and the other children were playing battering rams.
And it was very overwhelming, and she just turned to me and she's like, do something. And I was like, what the fuck do you want me to do?
As a host, you're supposed to run tables.
The restaurant.
Yes, of course. I was doing everything I could. I was doing everything
You ran
I could.
plates to the tables?
Plates?
Yeah, when you're the host
Yeah,
and things are slammed, sometimes they come in and they start running orders.
Well, I would get the people to their seats, and you have to pick certain seats because of the waiters and everything.
I know, I was head waiter.
You have to break it up.
When the
sections.
but when the families or whatever weren't leaving, it would get fucking piled up.
And that's what I'm like, what's going
on?
How did you say to them how long the wait was?
You have to.
That's probably the second most popular content.
Always like 15 to 20.
Always, even when it was like an hour.
That you'd have to. If it was slammed, anytime it was slammed, nobody really knew the number, but you saw how filled it was.
That's what I'm asking
and then you
to
raised.
describe.
You know how many times I looked into the server room when somebody or into the where people eat, and they asked how long, and I was like 25. I had no clue. How the fuck do you know? I'm just looking at people.
I know.
That's
People
what it
got
takes,
so
but
mad
there
at
is an
me.
art to it because you have to walk around, survey who's got their checks, who's eating dessert, who hasn't even ordered
But
yet.
you can't eject people.
No, but you can time. You can assume like a rough okay, if someone's paying right now. Worst case scenario, in 15 minutes they'll be gone. You know, so you got to plan for that. But that's a lot of work to do.
It is, but it's also a lot of fun in a way where you're kind of like looking around at the table. As soon as people start unpacking, you're like, go, because we'd have to also
like a little
bus
restaurant
them.
puzzle.
Yeah, we'd help bus them and
Where
everything
was
like
this?
that. Fridays, TGI Fridays.
It was a small mom and pop.
Well, I also worked at a Friendly's.
No
and
wonder you were the face of Fridays. That makes the
Hey,
most
it's
sense.
Friday.
In the entire world. You probably painted
Yeah,
nails in
hey,
your chair.
come on over, make some mistakes. It's the beginning of the weekend.
It's always Friday.
Hey, how's it going? Welcome to the beginning of the mall. Sit down. And
Are you feeling weird about doing blow on a Tuesday? Well, come in here. It's Friday.
this way to the parking lot, that way to the tables.
You got Saturday and Sunday to regret.
Yeah, it's always the beginning.
And there was this one time where somebody walked in and I went, "Hi, welcome to Friendly's," and he was like, "Fridays," and I was like, "I don't know, man." But there was it was.
You're like out of a teenage movie.
Yeah.
I know. I really am fucking.
You're like in Waiting. You're Justin Long being like, I don't know, man. I just have such bigger dreams than this.
He's definitely Andy Milonakis.
Yeah, a little bit of a mix between that. I'm Justin Long doing whippets in the freezer.
Yeah. Looking like Andy Milonakis.
Looking like Andy Milonakis, yes. And it was like swamped and people coming in and everybody was overwhelmed. And this chick turned to me and she's like, "Do something. You're not doing anything." And I'm like, "I'm doing everything I can." And then we got into this little thing filled with people. And I went, "Yo, shut the fuck up, bitch."
There it is.
I went, "Shut the fuck up, bitch." And she was like, and everybody was like, everybody looked away.
The whole restaurant?
Everybody in the front on a packed out fucking
that's
place.
like 3 a.m. Waffle House shit.
Yeah, dude. And the manager took me out and she's like, "You can't call her a bitch in front of everybody."
Even though we all agree.
And you didn't get fired?
No, but I got fired a couple weeks later.
For what?
Stealing food.
Well,
Calling her a stupid dumb bitch.
A Puerto Rican dumb He just made it racist.
yeah.
And they're like, well, now we have to.
I got fired because they said they put me on the schedule, and I said I can't work that day. I have a final at Nassau Community College.
NCC.
NCC. It was a radio final, the radio class. And
what'd you have to do? Put one together?
we just had to make fake voices.
Start after the football team.
I went to Nassau and took that class as well.
Feeney's
Nice.
was underrated.
Nice,
That was really
dude,
good.
nice.
Just pushing around a shopping cart, looking all goofy with a radio. Yeah.
I was in radio class.
Hey, I'm the offensive coordinators.
Not being a good movie.
So why'd you
since
get fired?
Boys in the
They
Hood.
just gave him the worst mouthpiece of all time, like the Halloween costume hillbilly
Yeah.
teeth, and we're like, yeah, just play. retarded.
Hollywood fucking bent Cuba Gooding Jr. over a rail and raped him.
Not
because-
to
And apparently he did that to a couple women. So
Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't know if he's the most sympathetic character.
yeah, I'm not dying on the Cuba Hill.
yeah.
His brother, on the other hand, solid programming for Nickelodeon.
But why did you get fired?
Because I had a final and I told them, I think they set me up, dude.
I've been set up.
I
by
think it was a
restaurant like this
setup.
too, yeah.
That's what happened to me at Best Buy.
They said I was on the schedule. I said I can't work that day. I have a final at college. And they went, okay. And then
Choose your future: Fridays or education.
dude, imagine. And I was
Taiwanese spring rolls.
yeah, either
or radio.
Yeah, or doing a final at a community college. It wasn't really looking good for old saggy balls there.
Biology, bloomin' onion. You got to decide. Dude.
Both sound good. So I'm in the final and I get a call from them and I walk out and I go, hello? And they're like, where are you? You're supposed to be here. And I was like, I have a final. And they're like, they asked me, how long do you think it'll be? And I'm like, I'm not rushing through this fucking final, dude.
Yeah.
So they went, okay, they were pissed about that. And then I came in, like they didn't have me on the schedule for weeks and weeks and weeks, like maybe 2 weeks. And I was like, I have to go in there. Missing 1 week is like, maybe they're training somebody, whatever. And I was like, I have to go in there. I walked in and everybody looked at me like a fucking ghost. I knew immediately. I was like, what the they fucking got me, man. They juked me.
Dude, I had
They
that
they
same-
bought me out.
And, dude,
I walked in like in
With
the
your
in the
7
Facebook
chain wallets
movie.
and your swishing Jankos.
I walked in like Hayden Christensen in the Facebook movie.
Hayden Christensen.
Was that Hayden Christensen?
Jesse Eisenberg?
No, the other guy, Hayden Christensen.
Andrew Garfield?
Andrew Garfield.
Hayden Christensen hasn't been in anything since Star
was in
Wars or
Jumper.
then Creeper.
Since he complains
Speaking of
as
Cuba
an actor in Star Wars for 3.5 hours. I don't want to be bad or good. I want to be me.
I killed them all. The mothers, the children. That's what
So-
it says. It's fucking dark.
Hey there, auto mechanics and super cool do-it-yourself guys like us, right, gang?
Yeah.
we're men.
Who work on their own cars. We want to tell you about a brand new sponsor, RockAuto.com.
The online store with every auto part at the best prices. This is your one-stop shop for everything auto parts.
RockAuto.com has been in business for 20 years, and they make it easy to find the parts you need at the best possible prices.
No more talking to counter guys who need to order your parts, aren't even really sure what you're looking for, and never have quite what you need, and then after all the hassle, will still charge you storefront markup.
And that's so insane because I'm out here, I'm slaving away on my 68 Mustang. I'm trying to get this Cobra in great, perfect shape,
Yeah.
show shape, if you would. But meanwhile, people are giving me the runaround. They're
trying
telling
to
me,
bang you out.
yeah, and I'm like, I know what kind of filter I need for this. And meanwhile, they're all up my ass about
And
it.
here I am turning a large school bus into a home for my wife and I and our child, and I'm going to get all the parts at rockauto.com because you can easily find everything you need, and whether you're a mechanic, an auto shop, or working on your own car, everyone has access to the same incredible pricing at rockauto.com.
So if you're a car guy, go right now to rockauto.com. That's
rockauto.com.
and check out all the parts available for your car. You're going to have so much fun looking at car parts.
That's right. So much friggin' fun. So once more, go to rockauto.com. That's
ROCKAUTO.
.com. No promo code needed as their pricing is already that good.
But just so that we get more money in the future, when you order, make sure to tell rockauto.com that you heard about them on Irish Goodbye.
rockauto.com. Let's get back into it.
But I had that same thing when I showed up to Best Buy and looked at the schedule. and then there was just like my name with like a Sharpie across it, and you're like, that's not going to be a good conversation.
That's how I got fired from Cornetta's in Piermont. Similar thing. I stopped showing up. I had like shows, like I was starting to do stand up a little bit, and I was also trying to move into the city. Yeah. And I was like, I'll kind of work here, and then anything would come up, a social, like a chance to do cocaine. And I was like, done. I'm out. I'm not coming in.
When I worked at Fridays, they were like so keen because I had just started stand up comedy. Like maybe I was like year 2, and they were so they totally loved how I was a stand up comic and all that. But when I needed to take off for shows, they were like, oh,
right, because nobody cares about you. No. All of it is a means. Oh, cool, you have a sweet little dream, and if it gets in our way, you're out.
It also sucks because it's like it's nights and weekends.
Yeah.
So that's exactly why I started taking so many days off of serving, because it was like shows are on nights and weekends. And so, but I would take off $300, $400 shifts to go do 8 minutes at the Lantern in my first year.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just for free. I would lose. Negative money.
Well, I was working in the mornings, but it's like depressing seeing a Fridays in the mornings.
Lunch. Here's the thing with lunches. Lunches are, unless you're in some corporate like financial district shit, lunches suck because you're making like $80 after all of it, and you're like, it's not even worth the time.
It depends. So this was suburbs too, so it's a little bit different. But on the Hudson River during the summer, the lunch would often be popping. Like, so I'd make like $150 or something like that, and I'd be the only waiter. It would just completely fill up. You'd feel the rush, want to kill yourself, and then once it dissipated, we're like,
that rush is no joke, man. Yeah. That sudden, like all of a sudden, you're in the weeds. You just find yourself being like, oh God, where's their food, and how come there's not? Did I even put their order in? That whole.
More often than not, no, I did not. Like, I don't think I've felt that much panic on stage that I felt in the middle of a rush that I let get away from me.
Oh my God!
You know what I mean? Do you remember that feeling where? Sorry, this is like the restaurant hour, but this is like it's bringing me to a place that I've completely forgotten about because so much.
Well, I just want to make sure it's not. We're looking back on this. I love talking about this, but it's not like I don't look back on it and with glorified rose-colored glass. Everyone's like, man, be serving, and it was just the best. And you're like, serving always sucked, and that was terrible. Bartending at least had the only fun moments was that time in between the hour and a half early you got there to set up, cut lemons and limes, like throw ice in there, and closing when it was the reverse thing of doing all of that, taking all the putting all the bottle caps off, all that shit. And also the best part is when you're kind of busy, but everyone's taken care of, and you could just shoot the shit and be like, another beer, and you don't have to. Not when you're like, that's too short. That tastes terrible. You're sweating and sticky. You're always sticky.
God,
no, it's like working out. The best part is after. Like, that's it. It's like once it's done and you have a fucking pocket full of cash, and then you go out and hang. I mean,
and spend all the money you just made on the service industry.
It was also the first time I could buy like not a 20 of weed. Do you know what I mean? Like, it was the first time I got a quarter of weed, and I was like, what am I even gonna do with this? This is crazy.
Just let me for 10 years.
Just like out of my mind. It was also my peak time in my life where I, because I'd work doubles and I'd get off at like 10:30, 10:45, sometimes even after, and then you get to the party where nobody else has a job, but they're all having fun. And you get there and you smell like onion rings, and you decide to catch right up and you shoot right past the entire party, and you're the problem in 10 minutes.
That's exactly what it is.
19th year on Earth.
That's exactly what it is, dude. Just showing up to the party in the shirt that you brought, but the pants you wore all day.
Dude, that's one of the most hungover I've ever been in my life.
And the rubber-soled dress shoes.
That's one of the most hungover I've ever been in my life. It was a New Year's Eve party I was having at my apartment, but I had to work. I was at Applebee's at the time and had to work just the. It got out at 10 o'clock or something like that, right? So I worked this shift, couldn't get out of it. And, all my friends and Erica are texting me about, like, how much fun they're having. They're doing Jell-O shots. This is the time when, like, everyone was just, 20, 21 years old. So everyone's just ripping shots. Like, not even like, oh, we're chilling, having a beer. It's like, we're all fucking getting hammered,
and back to back.
Jungle
Everclear is in the picture. Everclear is happening.
Mixing shit.
So I got out of there, and I worked down the street from where I lived, which was great. So I could just, like, literally run home. And I, like, kicked open the door, grabbed a bottle of champagne, chugged it, which is already was like ow and ow and and then I just the whole night was trying to be like, I'm catching up to you guys at a record pace, and I was so violently hungover the next day that it was I probably had 3 bottles of champagne to myself and then had shots and beers and all the other stuff. But the champagne hangover was such that I was like crawling to, and then I had to work again. I had to go to work and I was throwing up, and then I would go to work and I'd be sitting down in one of the booths just like sweating and trying not to puke. And then again at Applebee's you had to be your own busser and runner, so I have to go pick up like onion smelling like spinach dip and artichoke and like bring it to a table, and I'm like
make coleslaw.
and like put everything together, and like people's like burgers are bleeding in a way that's making me feel uncomfortable, and I kept begging to go home, and my general manager just, I mean rightfully so, showed zero sympathy for me. She was like, I don't give a shit. I went to the bathroom and threw up. I'm like, so look at me, I'm ghost white. And she goes, yeah, I mean, you shouldn't have got that drunk. And I was like, I would have gotten drunk earlier and been able to be sober if you let me off the shift yesterday.
Think about it. This is your fault.
Yeah, and I was just, I was such a mess. And my reasoning was like, let me go home because I am not a good server right now. I'm not representing your company well. People aren't going to come back to this Applebee's. They're not going to come back if you don't get...
That's such a funny...
thing. I'm not representing you well.
Yeah.
That is such like a I'm not the bad guy boyfriend move to do. Like, hey...
I'm in a place where if I come to the party with you, I might say something you don't like.
Yeah.
I don't want to put you in that position.
Don't put me around your friends because they might want to fuck me, you know?
Dude, she cut 2 other servers before me. Just to prove a point.
Wow.
She sent
I've
them
been
home
treated
early.
like that, too.
Oh, it's the worst.
Dude, my favorite...
I respect it, though, in retrospect.
Yeah, of course.
I remember Tim, my friend Tim, who I used to host a podcast with, this was like our funnest time. Like when I worked doubles at that place, he would come at 11 a.m. when I started side work and would sit on the Hudson River and drink gin and tonics until 10 p.m. when I got off. Non-stop throughout the entire day. And I remember both of us had that thing where we were like, we were going to go to his house to party. That was always the place, his mother's house. It was just wild for whatever reason. She didn't like it, but we just did it anyway.
Yeah.
And I remember being like, we're all going there. People are already there before I left for work, before Tim even left with me.
Yeah.
So I went down the street to get changed at the apartment my father and I were sharing, which is its own side nightmare. And then I went and I went to Tim's house and I beat him there, which made no sense whatsoever. I was like, what the fuck happened to him? I hope he's all right. I hope he didn't drive, into a car or whatever. Yeah. And all of a sudden I see this like teal, greenish blue 91 Honda Civic come careening up his street, hit a ramp, all 4 wheels off the ground. It's like kind of hopping towards his driveway, and he peels out, hits a rock, the ass of his car kicks out. He like parks the car sideways into his driveway, gets out the front seat, and was like, "Let's go!" And I never found out where he was. I never
call him right now.
It was just a absolute time. Like, he went into a time warp.
Dude, how great is like the house that everyone partied in when the mom was like, "I hate you all."
Oh my god, dude! His mother one time this is one of the times we weren't even partying, right? It was us and our girlfriends, and we were just sitting in his living room downstairs, and there was like a bottle of vodka somewhere, but nobody was drinking, and so she came down and she goes, "You're all drinking and driving!" Like, just screamed. She had been burnt out. We've completely destroyed this woman. Yeah. Tim goes, "No, we're not. Get the fuck upstairs. Get upstairs." He's just that dude. It's a nightmare.
That's
suburban
so
dude with his,
fucking,
"Get the fuck upstairs."
Dude.
And she's like, "I'm calling the police." And Tim runs upstairs, grabs every cordless phone, throws them in the toilet, flushes the toilet, and goes, "Everybody run!" And we all
you ran to your cars.
House. Drove our cars and went to the next place.
Dude, God bless the suburban mothers of the kids whose party house it was. Like, those women were beat to the fucking ground for years, dude. Years. It was like my buddy Paul's house was like that, and his mom was her name was Roseanne, and she'd be like, "What are you guys doing?" And we're like, "We love you, Roseanne."
Just no respect at all.
We love Roseanne just as much as we love these 5-star reviews.
Yeah.
You gotta leave one if you haven't. Thank you, everybody who has done it on iTunes. Great. It helps. Share the podcast. Tell some friends about the show. If you want to support the show in other ways, you can go to gasdigitalnetwork.com. Use the promo code IGP. Gives you a week free trial. Let you get all the other episodes we have, all the bonus content, all the other podcasts on the network, all their bonus content. It's crazy. So check that out. It also gives you a discount to podcastmerch.com. Look at that. We got shirts. We got hoodies. We got it all. Grab one of those. Yeah. Otherwise, irishgoodbyepodcast@gmail.com. Send us an email, send us a story to say hi and nice, flattering other things.
Hell yeah.
And come see us live.
That's the important one, especially all three of us. All three of us, we really want to plug the shit out of this because we're selling this out, baby. It's going to be so fun. Royersford, Pennsylvania. That's Philadelphia, surrounding areas, South Jersey. This is going to be a motherfucking summer spectacle. August 11th at Soul Joel's Thunderdome Given Dome, Comedy Dome. We're going to be doing half live stand-up, half live podcast. We have a bunch of very special guests that we're going to come out to. There might be some fireworks. It's going to be like Pee Wee Herman came on a kid's back.
Fuck yeah, dude.
I don't know what that meant. Me, not you. It's gonna be great.
Hell
Buy
yeah.
tickets now.
Buy tickets right now. They're at my website, souljoels.com, whatever it might be, August 11th. And then this weekend, if you're watching live tonight through Saturday, I'm going to be in Uncasville, Connecticut at Comics Mohegan Sun. Very excited. Comics Roadhouse. Brendan's going to be there.
Yeah.
Sweet little Lucas, our camera slut, is going to come with us. He's going to film some Full Penetration. And then I got more dates coming in, more shit about to be locked up. But October 8th through the 11th, little Brendan and I are going on a mini tour through Columbus, Ohio, McHenry, Illinois, and Chi-Town. So if you're out there, get tickets, all of those at MikeCannonComedy.com. Then we're all very excited. All three of us, again, are going to be at Skankfest South in Houston, TX.
Hell yeah.
So pumped.
Fuck yeah, dude.
MikeFeeneyComedy.com. We'll be at Uncle Vinny's if you're watching live this weekend. I'll also be at Comics Mohegan Sun myself on August 5th and 6th and 7th, so come out to that. I do have some other dates, too. I have to add an update to the calendar, but also, yeah, you know, Skankfest and all that shit. But come out, come say hi, and we'll see you at Royersford. Brendan?
Hell yeah. Just all those dates that Mike said, because I'm going with him. That's going to be super fun. But follow me on Instagram, follow me on Twitter at Brendan Sagalow, and follow me on Twitch, which is at Sags2Riches. It's not at, it's twitch.tv/Sags2Riches. Follow me. I play Resident Evil. Me and Feeney, we do fucking Call of Duty, Rocket League.
Brand new computer. I'm going to be stepping my game up. So yeah, follow us on Twitch. We're playing. I'll be playing a lot more in the upcoming weeks. Twitch.tv/NYFreshmaker.
Hell yeah, and I'm going to get a fucking computer eventually. I'm psyched for that thing.
I'm very excited. Alex?
You could follow me on Twitter and Instagram at I am Alex Scar, and check out my podcast, Broad Topics, TOPIX, with Kim Congdon on GasDigitalNetwork.com every Thursday at 9:30 p.m., or you could catch it for free on iTunes and YouTube every Monday. I also have a new show called Stick and Portly, Watch Rick and Morty, with the one and only Mike Harrington. You could catch it. It's a Gas Digital exclusive, but you could catch it live right after Legion of Skanks, or with a subscription to Gas Digital.
Sweet.
Hell to the motherfucking yeah, boys.
Oh, and check out Here's the Scenario.
Oh, yeah. Check out Here's a Scenario. Join the motherfucking Patreon.
So much
content for the low, low price of only $5 motherfucking dollars.
Yeah, Brendan's putting a song a week for the next 11 weeks.
Well, I was listening to the beats today, and I don't like all of them. You know, some of them I feel,
Yeah,
and
but
some
for
of them I'm like,
That sucks. You paid so much for them, too.
They were all free.
That's
No.
right. So we're just shitting on someone's hard work for free that they did for you out of love and respect.
Okay, it didn't suck, but I just didn't feel it. You know what I mean?
Well, maybe do it a second listen, you know?
I will. I'll give it a little.
A good artist rises to the beat.
Like Jay in Black Album, my mouth didn't just start mouthing the lyrics the first time.
Bro,
I
that's
heard
a
it,
real
so I knew it
thing,
wasn't
man.
magic.
That's a real fucking
I'm
thing,
sure it is
dog.
a real thing, but at this juncture in your career, you have no selection ability.
Hey, I want to start a career where I do have selection abilities. I've done 10 years of not selecting my dreams, so I'm ready to take control of
your hip-hop
my
career.
hip-hop
All right,
career.
that's exciting. Well, if you like Brendan and you want to hear his raps, go to
Why do you gotta say it like that, you fucking
Alex
Pod.
is
Asshole.
nodding. He's interested.
I'm very interested. I'm excited to hear them, Brendan.
That's great.
All right. Well, I don't need the I don't need the
Support?
patriarch. The fake support. The
Patriarchy?
I don't know what I
Alex
was gonna say.
is a woman.
Being,
Patronizing.
being fully genuine.
Wow.
Oh,
Now-
okay.
Now she's not so sure she wants to listen.
I don't believe a word that comes out of her mouth.
What did you do for the 4th of July?
I went to a park hang, and everybody was fucking these. Yeah, it was fine. Everybody was hammered, and then I did.
Wait, let's get into that because you breathed a little harsh. Like, was it a tough time for you not to drink?
No. What I was gonna say is everybody was like horny as fuck, but I didn't want to air out the fucking comedy community.
Why?
I don't know.
It's an interesting tidbit that might play well on a podcast.
Yeah, maybe everybody's like touching each other and shit. You're like, this is gonna be a wild summer,
Oh,
man.
they're mollied up?
Whatever.
Everybody's feeling the grass blades.
Hey, there is going to be a new strain of STD that comes straight from comedians.
Gonna be a Delta variant. For
yeah. It's gonna be like
The Broadway variant.
little cells. It's like little cells with clown faces on, just fucking around. But then I went and I judged the Comedy Fight Club, who so funny because Matt Marin texted me early.
Why are you stuck?
And I'll tell you why, because I remember, because Matt texted me, and I love Matt very much, and I like judging that shit, but he texted me, he goes, hey, we're doing a Comedy Fight Club on the 4th of July.
Oh, that's right.
And,
That's why
and
Matt's done.
I didn't trash him.
Trash.
You
I
didn't
said,
trash him. You trashed the prospect
I
of you
Alex is
going
I
to
laughed.
a barbecue show for the 4th of July.
I laughed
as
at
if
it.
You'd stoop that low.
yeah, and turns out I did stoop that low. Because I went to it.
Hence mouth open. Alex has a question.
Well, it was, yeah.
No, it's just I feel the exact same way. I laughed at it too and ended up there somehow.
Yeah, exactly. And I will say this: it was in the middle of, it was in Bushwick. It was at this lady's house who, I've been having relations. What do you?
Go ahead.
Oh,
Keep going.
I don't like
this is not
airing out.
Patreon.
Anyway, I will say this though.
You've been fucking
You've been saying a
Harrington.
lot.
I've been fucking Harrington, yeah, and I've been grabbing his back hair. So anyway, it was in the middle of Bushwick somewhere, and they were setting off fireworks for 4 hours straight, and it was
As they would on 4th of July.
Yes,
Hence
of course.
making it one of the worst days to do comedy.
Yes,
Especially
of course,
outdoor.
especially outdoor.
Yeah.
Sure.
And
At your
And
girlfriend's house.
the fact that New York Comedy Club only closes 2 times a year, Christmas and 4th of July, should tell you that there is nobody that should be doing any comedy related thing
hey, man,
on 4th of July.
and I said this all to my dick, and when my dick did it, spit at me, and I went, okay, you run today.
What do you mean?
You were yelling at your
Nothing. I mean nothing by that. And if you can't
What
follow
are you talking
along,
about?
your girlfriend.
You're making a
So
decision
you were,
to see your girlfriend
Not
based
my-
on your penis.
I don't.
you thought if you go over there and smash in front of her, you could smash with her.
Yes, that's exactly what I thought, and it's what I always think when I go
And
up on
Your
stage.
girlfriend is mostly attracted to you when
Stop
you do
with
comedy well.
doing that.
But she came over. She came to the show. She saw you crush,
Look,
which you did in between firework explosions, I assume.
Yeah.
the fireworks were very. That was Jesus.
That was a
Christ.
ShopRite brand
Oh my God.
firework. It was
Jesus
perfect.
fucking Christ, dude! Do more. I want to
the
see the
time is
finale.
right.
But it was very close. The fireworks were like so close.
Was it
and like,
romantic? With your first July 4th with your girlfriend?
I'm doing that, man.
And then what?
You little fuck. You little fucker.
what-
you little
how did
weirdo.
you-
You freak.
What was your? So that at least explains your rationale because you were adamantly trashing the idea of doing a show
Yeah.
on 4th of July.
Yep.
But this girl was a part of the show,
Your
your girlfriend, and you wanted to watch her perform.
She came. Oh, she performed on the show. I didn't know.
Wait,
that.
you
She was
judged
on the
your
show?
Stop! Everyone, shut the
You
fuck
judged-
up!
Wait.
Shut the fuck up!
Was or was your girlfriend not on the
I
show?
don't have a girlfriend.
I mean, that flyer.
I don't
is
have a
accessible.
girlfriend. Do not have a girlfriend.
But she was on the show.
Whatever. This ain't,
I don't know.
This
I'm
ain't about
saying-
her.
I don't
judge
know.
her
This ain't
battle?
about her. No.
Did you? I bet it hurt your feelings when somebody spoke ill of your girlfriend.
Stop. You
roast.
fucking. I'm taking your glasses until you stop doing that. All right?
Oh, you're gonna
It
break
turns a
them.
little Doc Ock over here.
You do look like you're
my
an evil villain. I have the power of depression. No, keep it on him.
Anyway,
wow,
fireworks were too close. I got a fucking headache. It was smoky. Alex was there.
I had a headache and it was
It was smoky. It was light out. I was being a real bummer. I was like, this sucks.
And you didn't get laid after all that because you had a headache, I assume, and you're like,
That's none of your fucking business. Okay?
oh,
You brought it up.
That's none of your
Twice.
business.
You said your dick spit in your face.
yeah.
Which I assume was cum.
That should say enough. It was calm. I couldn't hold back.
So you jerked off before you saw your girlfriend because
I
you wanted to
jerked
give
off
her
in Bushwick. Yeah, I went to the projects and I just busted one
Well,
out.
I went out to Long Island and sat in an incredible
Can I leave?
traffic.
Do I have to?
Do you want to not talk about? You said you didn't want to talk about it, so now I'm telling a story. Now you're like,
You tell a story then.
I was. I currently am.
Tell your story.
We were driving out there, and all of a sudden, I got hit with the coffee stomach. While in bumper to bumper traffic, which is a bit I have on Rage Against the Machine. Check it out. But it happened to me where I'm like going through those contractions where you're like, you're in sharp pain for probably 15 seconds, and then it goes away for 4 minutes, and you're like, okay. But then when it comes back, all of a sudden it only rests for 3 minutes, and you're like, and we went. The second it hit was right after we passed an exit, so I couldn't get off until the next one. So which is again bumper to bumper.
It's weird that those contractions hit and it's almost never a solid result. You know what I mean? Like it feels like a big thing you need to push. Almost baby-like,
Yeah.
but then you spit a hot cup of soup into the toilet.
It's the best.
I didn't
when
even
you get it out.
So I'm sitting in traffic writhing, and I go, we got to get to the next exit. So it takes us 10 minutes just to get to the next exit because of all the traffic. Erica finds a BP, so where I can go with my TP and go.
You can make an oil spill.
Yeah, so I go to we get off the exit, and it's like just behind where the exit was, so we have to go all the way down around a residential block, add an extra 4 minutes to the trip. We get there, I ghost ride the car into some gasoline tanks and run towards the guy, and Erica explodes, and I go, the key, and the guy goes like this, and then smiles and goes at me, and I go, and I go, there's no key, and he goes, no bathroom, and I'm like, and I have my belt undone at this point.
You were ready to
shit
too.
on their floor.
I thought about. I was
I would
like,
have been like, dude, all right, cool. Then here it comes.
You just go clean up aisle 7.
so I army limp back to the car. I get in. I go, it's closed. Erica goes, and then I go down another block. She takes me to another gas station, and thankfully there was like a bathroom oasis. I had my choice. It was like a Shell station with a Portobello Mart in there, or there was a Starbucks, or there was a Chipotle, and I'm like, a lot of these are purchase, and then you can go in. The gas station's my quickest option.
Yeah.
I run into the Shell. It's a surprisingly clean bathroom, and it was just everything you thought it would be. It was
my
just
God.
a full. After that, I was like, I could drive to Tennessee and feel okay.
It's like an ass orgasm
Oh,
sometimes
it's the
when you're
fucking
holding
best.
it that much.
It's
And then you also
ridiculous.
get to look down and see what Jackson Pollock painting you just made.
Well, this was a black
It's fucking
toilet,
cool.
which I find very, very strange.
I don't mind that, but sometimes it's harder to regale in your strength.
But also,
I
it's
like
worrisome
regaling.
because if there's blood in there, you should know. And you can't tell.
Yeah.
I've been... never mind.
Yeah.
I was just about to get super graphic.
But-
There's no reason for it.
But wait,
I've
there
been
was
pooping piles.
So
like piles.
Yeah, I love
Like
piles.
Triceratops.
Where it comes out of the water.
Piles. Yeah. Like a newly
Out of the
formed
water.
Bezos island. They just dumped fresh
You're
sand.
shitting
yeah.
archipelagos?
I don't even know what you said, but I'm laughing because he's like,
Shitting archipelagos.
what's that?
Archipelago is a small chain of islands like Hawaii.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I
but-
shit Johnny Depp's island.
So I go out there. After that, it's like, who cares? Everything's great. After that, I go hang out with my family. It was the first time we get to hang out without masks or socially distance or anything like that. Have a barbecue, which was great. And then we go back to Queens, the first time ever driving back where there was no traffic. I guess we left at the perfect time. We get back, we start watching the fireworks from our terrace, but then we go to the roof because the roof, it's 360 degrees of the fireworks. You get to see the Macy's Day Parade ones out in the distance, and all of my neighbors recently have become in the blocks around me have just been trying to one-up each other every July 4th. So they are just buying more and more fireworks, which are starting to become more exciting than the Macy's Day fireworks. Yeah. They're off in the distance.
They're like legit mortars.
Yeah, and they're close, and they're like whizzing past other apartments because they're lighting them off on the street. So they're exploding like
right in your
100
face.
feet over our head, but they're they're a block
awesome
away.
For all the babies.
Yeah.
So while we're on the roof just watching the Macy's Day ones, our neighbors in our building come up to the roof too, and again it's like it's a roof where we're not supposed to be on the roof.
Yeah.
And so. There's just a shadowy figure with a box, and they're like walking towards us fast, and they go, "You mind? You mind? You mind?" And I was like, "What? What? No, get away! What? No!" And he was like, "We have fireworks. Like, you mind? We set off. You mind?" And I go, "No." I go, "I'm not the person you should be asking, but I don't care." But
I know I have this mustache, but I am not an officer of the law.
I go, "Just please don't set the building on fire." And they go, "He said okay," and then they like walk and like 4 feet away, set it up on a black tar roof, and
I would have gotten out of there so quickly, dude. That thing can explode.
It was
out of his own building,
dude. They were,
just
they were
off of the roof. I would got,
but they were setting them off, and they were exploding. It felt like 50 feet at most over our head. To the part where parts of it were like flying.
Still on fire. Embers.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Dude, still on fire. Embers were flying everywhere. But it was like this private, very loud show that was happening right in front of our faces while the Macy's Day one was going off, while there was another one a block away going off. And, people are just screaming and like, woo, going crazy.
Yeah.
New York City really fucking comes out for the 4th of July.
Yeah.
They show up.
But like shit, I mean, didn't some dude... Just like a professional athlete, just
NHL
get hit
player
by a
died.
mortar in the chest.
He's an
I'm
NHL
sure
goalie.
died.
He was in a hot tub too.
Dude,
he was in an
that is-
NHL.
and so he wasn't even a part of the chicanery.
He was in a hot tub
just
at a
hanging
party,
out.
and one of the mortar ones it fell off to the side and shot at him, and he tried to get out of the way.
Oh
but
my
he was,
God!
Shirtless and he was like 22 years old, 24.
Died?
24.
Yeah, he just made his professional. Like he just became a professional.
He should have punched it,
That
dude.
like
a
JPP
goalie
from the
Yeah,
fucking
he's a
Giants.
goalie. Yeah,
Just
he stopped it.
good for him. Wow, a
He went
keeper
with
till the end.
He went with his instincts, and they betrayed him.
Glove save and a beauty.
Well, the problem was he caught it, threw it back, and it came back.
Boomerang.
Nice, dude.
Nice.
Yes.
That was the sharpest
Yes.
knuckle of all time.
This one, get in there, feel it.
I know. It felt like a dagger.
Yeah,
Do you do that with anything? Like, is that come in handy having a?
sharp knuckles.
Ask
Yeah.
Erica.
You can't. She's not allowed to talk.
Not allowed to put it the
Yeah,
NDA.
the depths in
not allowed
between
to
these
answer.
two are sharp. Feel
I got NDA right here. Ow!
See?
Oh my god! It hit my bone
non-dick
and
ass.
it hit my bone and my whole skeleton shook.
Every once in a while, that'll happen. So me, Nicole, and crew got out of the house for July 4th because I'm sure Mario would have given like a 57 gun salute, and I just didn't want to.
Yeah.
Just shoots into the pool.
Shooting rounds into the pool. It's so funny.
Like a little Bellagio. Like a little fountain shell. Yeah.
So we went over to Nicole's like best friend since they were born because her mother and her mother were best friends and they were pregnant together and then they had babies and then Nicole and her ended up being pregnant together and they had babies. So it's like it's generations in the making.
Yeah, it's like a gypsy family.
Nope. But so we went. How?
I don't know.
Do you know what gypsies do?
I know what
do they
gypsies
do?
do. They rob and steal.
And sell trinkets by the
And
same
they sell
mainly
time.
known
trinkets.
for being nomadic.
They're like incest, right? Incestual.
No, they actually
Nomadic.
pick up
They go
people
around.
from the road.
Yeah.
I just meant.
teens.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Guess I didn't know, and that joke doesn't work. I'll admit that.
That might be the first time in podcast history. I certainly will never do that. I'll fight till the
It's
end.
so
that all
much
these make
easier
sense and
to
you're the
just-
wrong one.
It's so much easier to just give up. That's what now I understand where Roseanne came from.
So we ended up going over there, and it's really fun because the crew and their daughter hang out together, and they're getting older and bigger, and watching them play is like so fucking great. And me and her husband get along really well. We've been friends for a long time at this point, and he's like they're one of the few parent couples that I like hanging out with, like that I would actively pursue being social with, as opposed to being like, all right, I can fucking tolerate this. Like, I can eat it for a day or two or whatever. But we ended up sleeping over there for like the full weekend. And then the morning of July 4th, we had some childcare help. So we popped some fucking edibles and we went to go buy lobster for some 4th of July, some classic Americana dinner.
Hell yeah, dude.
And me and Alex, we went into this place and we're like looking at the lobsters, and he's like, "What do you think, man? What do you like, if there's 4 of us?" He's like, "What do you think we need? Like 10?" And I was like, "Yeah." I was like, "Yeah, I think we need 10." And he's like, all right, what did they ask for? And, like, Nicole sent us a list of things to get. They had, like, 2 of the items, and we were like, sorry. Like, we just wrote back sorry, pretty much. Picked up 2 of the items, didn't get the other ones. I don't know what happened. Like, they just couldn't make what they wanted to make, but we had plenty of lobster. We got 12 lobster instead of 10. The last 2 being 2-pounders as opposed to the 1.5. So we jumped up just to, whatever. And that night, we cooked all of them. And wouldn't you believe it? We ate 4.
So what'd you do with the others?
We made lobster rolls the next day. I ate 6 lobster rolls the next day.
Dude.
July 5th, Independence Day observed. So that was really great. But 4 lobsters to the point where I was like,
that must have been like $150.
It was way more than that. I personally paid $230.
What did
for a single lobster?
What?
Yeah.
230 for one lobster?
Well, no, because I ate one that night. But I ate my fair share, so it worked itself out. But in the middle of all that, so we weren't sure what we were gonna do. We were having a great time hanging out as a tight unit, but there was also this party that was like an option. You know what I mean? And the night before, July 3rd, it was raining. It was supposed to rain on the 4th. It was kind of being, it was like rumored to be gloomy, but instead, like, the sun shined through, and you immediately get filled with that kind of like, if I don't go do something, I'm kind of a piece of shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, if we hang out here, it's going to be great and enriching and lovely friends, but we should do something because we just had a year of not doing something.
Yeah.
So we end up going to this place, which is in Rye, New York. It's on a peninsula with the Long Island Sound surrounding it. It's this minimum between $5 and $10 million house. Insane. Wow. 360 fucking view of the water. They've got a pool. They got going through this area too, you're like, well, that's like 10 million.
Right. Yeah.
It's just like one of those, it's a humbling experience, especially living at your in-laws, driving through this fucking place and slaloming through the things they put in the road to keep you slow. So we get there though, and we don't, crew is awesome socially with family. We don't know how it's gonna be. He's never been to like kind of a full stranger party like that before. He's comfortable in the tight-knit group with, he got to know the parents, got to know that he's known the baby for a while, that we're all great. And then going there, we're like, we'll see, we don't know how it's going to go. And we get there, and he's instantly the mayor of the party.
Oh, really?
I've never seen anything like it. He like pulls out. We brought his red, white, and blue basketball, which he like. It's basically his Lionel safety blanket or lioness safety blanket, and he's just holding it, and he busts it out, and he's immediately dribbling around. He's like dribbling it 20 times in a row.
Whoa.
He's gonna be 2 at the end of this month, and people are like, how old is this kid? Like,
he's like doing crossovers.
Dude, it's crazy. He's literally picking it up.
Ankles for the party.
He picks it up all the time. And he like spins it in his hand and like, holding it. He'll spin around and then dribble. And I'm like, it's just insane, like what he's able to do. It's crazy.
He's doing like off the heezies to other babies.
Bouncing it up. Well, this is what's so funny about kids, dude, is they notice like physical weird stuff about people and they lack the social awareness to not comment on it.
Yeah.
So there was another 2-year-old baby who was like, he's like the youngest of 4, so the parents were like barely looking after him. They're like looking, he's like walking around. He's like an 8-year-old, 2-year-old because of that. Like it's hilarious. He was the man. But he had an outie belly button, and him and Crew were like walking across from each other, and Crew looked at him and saw his belly button and instantly was like, while itching his belly button, was gutturally being
Ew,
like,
gross.
And so we're walking around this party, and now he's like starting to say sentences and shit and starting to indicate what he likes and doesn't like, which I don't know why. It makes me fucking emotional, dude. It makes me like so happy that he's literally walking around the party with a burger in one hand, corn in the other, hearing a song for the first time that we've heard it a million, it doesn't matter, but we like the song, but who cares?
Yeah.
And he's walking around up to strangers being like, I like this song.
Wow.
And just like eating a burger, being like, this is delicious. And all this,
Whoa.
like, every adult, especially the shit-faced ones, are like, this kid is the man. And he's like walking up, he's dancing to the music, just having the time of his life, jumping in the pool with me,
my God.
like swimming around. It was like, I've never been that happy. Probably ever. Like, it spiked all of my serotonin. I came home, I even told you that. I think I told both of you. I was like, I'm the happiest I've ever been right now. I don't know what happened. It was just an amazing party.
Wow.
He was having such a good time. He's just a special dude when it comes to that stuff. Like, you see how your kids, where they're going to go and what their personality is going to be like, and it just develops more and more over time. And when you really nail it down, you're like, oh, hell yeah, man. I'm so glad that he's social and he likes people.
Wow.
And he wants to be in that environment. And then I was showing you a video, and I was like that too, man. And it's wild that, like, just life stamps the light out of you.
Yeah.
Just destroys all search of good.
Yeah, just really licks its fingers and puts the little on the sparkler.
We were talking about how, like,
life's Independence Day.
Yeah, he's gonna have to have a talk with his kid to be like, stay in this, please.
Yeah, I mean, not that weird Holden Caulfield thing where I'm like,
No.
stay pure, stay innocent.
No,
that
no
fucking
way. Fuck
fixation
that.
really creeps
Ugh.
me out. But yeah, be lively, enjoy the light, enjoy people's company. Don't let that fucking shit, the outside noise, ruin your perspective of other human beings. Because when it comes to, like, interpersonal experiences, I would say I'm 90% from the field in terms of having positive experiences with other people. Interpersonally, like this. It only gets fucked up when also, I mean, we're comics, so of course we're exposed to different types of shit.
Yeah.
But then, like, social media and faceless whatever, and when we're aware of people's opinions that aren't actually in our world, that's when that stuff gets fucking muted.
Yeah, you gotta block all that stuff out, which does remind me to tell you about someone who was talking a lot of shit about you right after this.
That's when you want to make your Irish goodbye.
Hey everyone, before we go, if you enjoy this podcast, you might enjoy some of the other podcasts available at gasdigitalnetwork.com. This week, we are highlighting Bye Guys with hosts Zach Amico and Ian Fidance. You can find the full catalog of episodes on demand at gasdigitalnetwork.com or catch the latest 15 episodes anywhere you find podcasts. Here's a clip.
No, wait, we can talk to her live right now?
Live right now. But
Hi, you're on Bye now.
You're on Bye
Thanks,
Guys on the
Scooby-Doo.
Gas Digital Network.
make an account real quick.
Oh my God, she is gorgeous. Is this all she does?
You can tell her what to do. If you
What
got
are people
tokens.
saying to her?
I love that we got distracted from Guess the Butthole to do something gayer.
This is straight as fuck. Now wait, hold on. What are they saying to her? I feel things. Hold on. I feel things with you like no other.
You drive
I feel
me
very
crazy.
passionate and a great deal of lust.
Oh, the Indians are in full effect.
Oh, she's got a lot.
Somebody agreed with
Yo,
that
that's-
comment. Me too, rebel.
Yo, that's
Preach.
That's not Little Paradise. That's a big, beautiful, juicy paradise.
Now, is that her
Take
heart?
me down to the Paradise City where you jerk your dick like it's a big old clitty. Oh, please, let me go down.
Now, that's the thing with trans.
Welcome to the jungle.
No, I think that's a maintenance jerk. Like, they're keeping
They're
it
keeping it.
Like semi.
1/3 hard.
Like, no, how can you control
I am-
that? I think that's just like.
Because
Hold
that's
on.
just maintenance.
It's like edging.
yeah,
I
they're
am
keeping
looking
it.
at your cock. My goodness. I want that cock. I want to play with that cock. Oh, that's not that fun.
Clip all that.
I'm like,
Somebody just
yeah.
tipped 150. She's raking in right now.
Oh, my God.
How much is a token?
Oh,
Can we get
I
her
think it
to
was like
shout out
20
Bye Guys?
tokens for $1.
Does she
I don't
talk?
know. I never put a dollar.
Can we get her
I
to
would
be
just
like,
only
hey, you're
collect
watching
and
Bye
then-
Guys on the Gas Digital Network.
You got to make an account.
Like, so Jared, you people can watch Jared do that. Like, he would do that.
You have an account, Jared?
Yeah.
You dirty little dog.
Have you ever broadcasted?
Jared's.
Yeah.
Jared
how he
broadcasted
gets-
yourself jerking
That's
off.
how he gets the token, so he
And
feels
then-
like he never spends money.
I would never spend money.
Oh, so it's like
Wait,
how,
so you
you're
jerk
playing with
off
house
and people
money.
pay you money.
Correct.
How much money do you make?
So that's the thing. I only would. I never transferred the money out. I actually
So
one
he
time
would,
lost
he
it.
would put it right back
Yeah,
in.
so you're playing house
But
money.
I would
Wow,
play
you're
house
like the
money and get
Chinese
girls-
dollar. It circulates 13 times before it leaves Chinatown. No, wait a minute.
I
Wait
would
a
get
minute.
And
girls.
it's got diseases on it.
I would get girls to do things for me, and that's what I would get off to.
But,
Why
but
dudes
if
are
you
getting off to me?
didn't, if you didn't do that, how much money would you have made?
Oh, I probably have had at one point. At one point, I tried cashing out 2,000 tokens, and I did the authenticator, and then like I just felt weird putting my card in, and I just never in my account, and I never did it. So I lost those 2,000 tokens.
You felt
I was like,
weird.
shit, I gotta go
I've done
broadcast some more.
5 podcasts with you, and you finally say something interesting. What the fuck?
Jesus
This show rules.
Holy fuck. Bye, guys, forever.
Oh, she
yeah.
brought out the
Now, wait, do they ever come, or is it just like...
Totally up to. So my thing would be like, give me this much amount, and I'll come.
And you
Yeah, so
come
no,
on
that's-
camera.
Yeah.
He's a little performance artist.
Oh, my God.
great.
Now, do you spend the tokens?
Karen, are
just-
you raising a whole generation of these?
We believe in ourselves.
Honestly, it might be some child pornography on there.
What?
No, there might be.
Jared.
No, I did this from like I don't
Everywhere, right? You can't.
know, 18.
Alex, put it back up. What's the matter with you?
Back there.
We have
What?
to
Can we-
read more comments.
Now, if you go to like the homepage, there's like couple rooms, just female, just.
This is hot.
This is
What's
pretty
that?
awesome.
Is that like a
can we
flashlight?
go to
Yeah.
like the female?
Somebody said, what's up, Ian?
Yeah.
Somebody said, bye, guys, what's up, Ian?
That's fucking great, dude. Oh my gosh. That is fucking.
Ah, what's up, fellas? Bye, guys, for the win.
That's brilliant. Wait, can
We
you-
love you. That fucking rules.
Oh, we're hijacking this abomination.
Oh my
thread.
God.